Aloha party people, you are listening to Inside the Desert Oasis Room, episode number 161. This episode is sponsored by Tandawai Rum, the world's largest rum producer and winner of over 170 international medals in the past 4 decades. Check out their webpage at tandawaiusa.com or follow them on Facebook or Instagram at tandawaiusa. This episode is sponsored by the Tiki Bar T-Shirt Club, where their monthly T-shirt designs pay tribute to a Polynesian bar or restaurant from days long past. Each design is available for a limited time and will never be produced again. For more information and to check out this month's shirt, visit tikibartshirtclub.com. This podcast is also sponsored by the Tonga Hut. With locations in both North Hollywood and Palm Springs, California, the Tonga Hut serves classic tiki cocktails in a classic tiki setting. Dine in a secret tiki hideaway or learn about rum and rum history at one of their educational seminars. And if you're up to the challenge, take the journey to join the Loyal Order of Drooling Bastards. For information on events, Rum Club, and more, go to tongahut.com or find them on Facebook or Instagram. On this special Throwback Thursday edition, we revisit our session with the crew from the newly released documentary Squeezed Up. Join us inside the Desert Oasis Room as we chat with the director Dirk Behlau, executive producer Stefan Immke, and the rest of their crew, also known as the Wild Bunch, including Shane Bagnall, Andy Schmidt, Thorsten Leisenberg, and Matze Heiden. The episode you are about to hear is some of the same footage you'll see in the film. And if you like tiki, hot rods, lowbrow art, or custom culture, this film is a feast for your eyes. You're going to enjoy seeing many of our friends featured there, including Jason Lee, the Hula Girls, McBiff Art, Tiki Tony, Michael Greider, Mimi Lemieux, Matt Tikiman Willis, and much, much more. This episode was recorded back in October 2018 on the podcast's 2-year anniversary during the filming of this documentary, which is available now. As always, I hope you enjoy this episode as much as we did bringing it to you. If you enjoy this podcast, please give us a good rating. Doing so helps people find the show and helps boost our presence. Also, subscribing makes it easier for you to follow our adventures, and subscribers always get new releases first. You can find previous episodes at our website, desertoasisroom.com, as well as links to our social media along with links to our guests' websites and their social media. Alrighty, grab a cocktail and join us inside the Desert Oasis Room with our friends Stefan Immke and the Wild Bunch.
Inside the Desert Oasis Room.
Okay, so we're ready to go. I'm just gonna go ahead and start making cocktails.
Awesome.
And
What are we making?
have you had my blood punch yet?
No, I've heard about it a lot.
Okay, so I'm gonna make
After
that.
listening to all these podcasts, and I hear about the blood punch, and I'm like, one of these days.
Well, today is that day. Let me start by saying aloha. Aloha. Aloha, Stefan, and everybody else in the room, aloha.
Aloha!
So for our listeners out there, we're actually recording a dual session today. We're recording for your new project,
Right.
Stefan, and also obviously an episode of Inside the Desert Oasis Room. Tell us about your project.
Yeah, our project is called Squeezed Up, the movie. And it's a road trip with 2 roadsters through California to see all the cool guys and the cool places. And it's a story of traveling. It's a little bit an endless summer thing, but more car related than surf related.
Right.
We will see great guys, great places like your place. I mean, we are stoked about the Desert Oasis Room.
I appreciate
it's
that.
So
Thank you so
cool.
much.
It's so cool, and it's such a great hideaway. We love it. And beside the roadsters, there's a lot of tiki stuff involved in this thing, and everything which comes over with tiki, and obviously a little bit of drinking. And I see you were doing some. You will start mixing some great secret ingredients together.
I'm mixing the house drink.
Oh,
this is the blood punch, and it's a blood punch because I call it a blood punch because you'll see when it's done, it's blood red.
Oh, that's cool.
And it's a take on a like a classic tiki cocktail.
Yeah.
It's both sweet and tart, and very rich in calories.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I think we need some calories.
Oh, of course, we need some calories to survive the day.
Yeah, so hopefully you're not on a diet right now.
No, we are not on a diet. We just flew in from Germany with 5 people 2 days ago, and we got such a warm welcome from all the Americans all over the place.
Oh, that's
it's
good.
really unbelievable.
That's good to hear.
It's such a great tiki tribe and hot rod tribe, and everybody's so helpful and welcome to us. It's really amazing.
How long is the flight from Germany?
When you are lucky and you get a non-stop flight, it's about 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
And we were the unlucky guys, and we had to stop over, so you can easily make it 16, 17 hours. And our friend Matze, he comes from the east of Germany, so he was basically traveling for 2 days. It took him a day traveling to come to our place, and then it took 2 hours to go from our place to the Frankfurt airport, and then we have this 16 hours flight. Yeah.
Wow,
you were traveling.
Yes. So you
sure.
must be very tired right now.
Yeah, and the biggest problem is we didn't allow us to sleep. That you did not allow us. Right. To sleep because there's so much things to see, and it's such a nice traveling that we really don't have the time to sleep.
Okay, so I'm going to make as many of these as I can this first round.
Yeah, last night we had the chance to see the room party at the Caliente Tropics.
You have fun? Was that good?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was with Marie.
Marie King.
Really,
we love Marie.
Yeah.
Marie is such a great person.
Oh, she's so great, and she makes the best drinks.
She makes really
ever.
good drinks. Yeah. She's the bar manager at Tonga Hut.
Right.
Okay, here we go. Our listeners always love it.
Flash blended, the real.
When I do that.
The old way.
Is it a Hamilton?
I'm sorry?
Is it a Hamilton blender?
It is this one's a Waring Pro. So the Hamiltons, I know which one you're talking about. You're talking about the HMD 200. See, I know
He does know this.
Yeah. That's my dream blender, but it's a little out of my budget. They use those in all of the bars, all across town. And, I'd love to have one, but they're just a little too expensive. So, for me right now, just enough there. Okay. All right. So this is the blood punch. Now, can you see why we call it blood punch?
Yes, there's no other name possible.
Right.
Yeah, and basically with the movie we want to show a little bit of time warp back to the 50s, the mid-century traveling, and we want to show that there is still a lot of very cool and good people around who respect the tradition and keep it alive, which is, I think, the main intention of the movie.
Sure.
To show there is a scene, the scene is hidden.
Well, there's a divide between hot rodders, right? There's the traditional hot rodders, and then there's people who they do the completely outside of the box, which is not always good.
No, we are also not so used to that street rodding or muzzle machine hot rod scene.
Okay, I'm going to take a photo of this before. This is going to be for my social media. So you guys say hello.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Aloha. Hello.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Okay, so
yeah, just like you were saying, there's a divide in hot rodding between like the traditional hot rods.
look at these guys in the back. We're gonna get the guys in the back too. All right, fellas, say hi. Hi. Aloha. Aloha.
Aloha.
So you're saying, Shane?
Yeah, there's a divide in hot rodding between traditional and modern hot rodding and the way people build cars. There's the same thing in Tiki too. There's people that really hold fast to the traditions and the
who's getting these? Let's hand these back there too. Who wants one?
Oh, I would love to have one.
I'll make some more. Okay, I'm gonna make some more.
Not for me, but I'm driving.
No, none. Not even one.
Who cares?
One. Okay.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
But really, one of the goals in this is to really just focus on Tiki and hot rodding based in the early days, really the period of the 50s through the 60s.
Yeah.
My personal passion is, kind of begins with Elvis and ends with the Beatles, like the mid 50s through through like early 60s. And
so I've said before that I'm not really well versed in traditional hot rods. I love cars. I grew up around cars. I love old German cars.
Oh.
I have an old Porsche. I have a old Speedster.
Nice.
And because I love the air-cooled technology. So it's very simple, but it's very ingenious in my mind. And but I don't really know much about traditional hot rods. And then someone told me, when they really start modifying the car with all this billet and all that kind of stuff, the traditionalists don't like that. Okay, I get that because I'm a traditional Tiki guy, right?
Yeah. So
we have our rules also in Tiki, right? So it's the same kind of thing. And then someone told me once that because of this trend of quote-unquote rat rodding, they said, oh, don't say that. That's a bad word now.
It is, yeah.
It's really a bad word.
Yeah,
It's true. I mean, it just gives a negative,
Yeah. And what I was told was that it's a bad word because those cars can sometimes really be unsafe.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And there was a little bit of a culture that built up around it, a little bit of a, almost, rednecky culture around these rat rods, where people that really weren't into traditional hot rodding got into it just so they could build one and drive one of those things around. But more of a, attitude. Yeah. Not the right attitude, but true hot rodding and is almost like a family, just like Tiki, where people they go out of their way to help each other build their cars, and they enjoy hanging out together. They have a common interests, and we just love the stuff the way it was back in the day, with the. So
the idea then is to modify the cars as though they were being modified in the mid-century.
Exactly, using what even going to the extent where the tools you're using are vintage tools.
Oh, okay.
Just as true to the original as you can get. Some of the.
Does that ever get frustrating though when you're building a car? I mean, using original tools, knowing that if you could get something done more efficiently or quickly, if you use modern tools.
Yeah, it makes it harder, but also that's part of the process and part of the fun.
It's part of the lifestyle.
Yeah, it is. I mean, otherwise, we could just forget about it and drive the hybrid around.
Right.
And moreover, if you have an old motor and you use the new tools, it often doesn't match that good. Okay. So you need a little bit the feeling in your hands, what you're doing. Yeah. So you cannot just bolt it hard and say, okay, that's done now. No, it's not done, because the old parts have a dynamic, so they needs to get retightened and not over tightened, and the limits are in your hands, and the result is also in your hands.
Now, how hard is it to get parts in Germany for these old American cars?
every little thing needs to get fly over.
Yeah, so it's hard.
In other words, you have the part cost.
Yeah. And then the shipping.
From the shop. Then you have the shipping.
Yeah.
You have a 10% import tax.
Wow.
And you have 19% VAT you have to pay on top of it.
Wow.
So in other words, it easy doubles up. It depends on what you ship.
Wow. Okay, one more flash. This one's pretty brutal, man. Okay.
And moreover, you have to have good connections to find the parts and pieces, to have good sources, because you're traveling in America is pretty limited.
Right.
So you cannot be on every swap meet. You cannot just drive by your friend and look if he has some cool parts left. You can maybe trade or exchange. So you really have to find stuff. And that's why in these days we also have some really good deposits on warehouses of hot rod parts and pieces. We intertrade.
Okay.
That can be in between the car clubs. That can be in between.
I know that you're trying to stay traditional, but what if you can't find a part?
Then you have
just
to
substitute. To substitute, is it okay to substitute?
No.
Okay.
No. You can tool it, CNC.
Oh, okay. Make it.
Yeah. Or you keep on searching.
Yeah.
You don't build a hot rod in a year. It's a long period.
Yeah.
And even if it's built, it's never done. There's always something that needs to get improved, or you maybe had the idea that it works that way and you found out it will never work that way and you have to redo it, and it's all physics and mechanics.
I have heard, and here's a couple more. So let's hand these out.
Who's missing a drink back there?
Who needs a drink?
Everyone has a drink back there. So, Dirk?
Everyone? Everyone?
Yeah, we got it.
We have one.
I have an
drink.
extra. Where's our driver?
No,
Just one?
No, I'm the driver.
Okay, smart man. Okay, guys.
My wife might help you with that.
Cheers. Aloha.
Aloha. Thanks for having us.
Cheers. Thank you for coming. I've been told that it's illegal to modify cars in Europe. Is that right?
For the American cars, there is no real handbook, no real source.
Okay.
So everything is negotiable.
Yeah. So it's acceptable then.
It's acceptable if you can prove that it was already happening in the past like this.
Okay.
They might stretch the truth a little bit with the authorities once in a while. The Germans are sometimes known to do that to get the car legal.
They don't have a.
Yeah.
If you have a Volkswagen and you have an illegal tuning on your Volkswagen, they can easily see it. They have a book.
Right.
They can look at the VIN number, and then they have all the parts listed, and they know exactly.
But more importantly, this drink is amazing.
By the way, the drink is delicious. It's delicious. It's really.
Okay,
it's
now
very nice.
I have a little bit of a sweet palate. Mm-hmm. That's why it's a little bit sweet.
It's really good.
Me as well, and I think most of the guys are sweet guys.
That's okay.
Yeah,
all
they
right.
all love the sweet.
Some people
we
tell
went
me
to
it's too
Bootlegger
sweet
last night, and I like them spicy. Anything with falernum, allspice, that you can't really put enough of it in there. But we went to the bar, and I said, what do you guys want? And I want this, and this one guy goes, I want sweet, and then the next guy goes, I want sweeter.
I like my drink sweet. So
we ordered them that way at the bar. Bootlegger, like, what do you want? One of these, and something sweet and something sweeter.
There you go.
And he just made them.
Like, I know sugar is bad for you, but I think I'm addicted. I think I'm addicted to sugar.
Is it a kind of fasciola?
Yes.
Oh.
Good call.
Thank you.
Yeah. Fasciola. Yeah.
It's a
Fasciola was a
lost
very
ingredient.
It was a very popular ingredient in the old tiki drinks.
Yeah. But it gets lost for some reasons.
Yeah.
And it gets recovered now.
I think that, and this is just my theory, that the rise of grenadine was because of the decline of fasciola. Because when you look at when fasciola started to disappear, that's when grenadine started to appear. I think, as a substitute because of the color. Even though it's not the same ingredients, it's a different taste. But, bartenders were filling in all the holes wherever they could.
What makes Fashionola red?
So Fashionola is it's really a raspberry.
Okay.
It's more of a raspberry, and grenadine is more of a pomegranate. Mm-hmm. So it's a different fruit. So the flavor is
totally
going to be different.
Flavor,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The Fashionola is a little bit more fresh, and the grenadine is a little bit more squeezy.
Yeah, and I think that the Fashionola has a richer flavor than the
Definitely.
grenadine. Yeah.
It has a larger variety.
Yeah,
I think.
grenadine is a little more sugary, and the Fashionola is a little bit more rich in the fruit taste.
So what's your favorite drink at the Tiki Tea then, if you like them on a little bit on the sweeter side?
I get that a lot. You guys are probably going to find this funny, but the Ray's Mistake is a great drink.
Yeah. I love it.
That's also drink.
No, it's not funny at all.
Yeah, it's their $1 million drink, and it's the most popular drink there. Like, I think people expect me to say something that's a little bit off the
more
cuff,
exotic or off the list. Yeah.
Right, off the list, but I like the Ray's Mistake. I think it's a good drink.
I've actually been going down the list on the old wall menu, the ones they have screwed to the wall. I took a picture with my phone, and I've just been checklisting the drinks off every time I go. I get 2 or 3 down.
You should do so. If you're doing that, you should tell them that you're doing that.
Yeah, I did. I told Mike. Senior.
Oh, so Senior knows.
Yeah.
So you know what you should do is print out a menu, and then every time you go in there, have someone initial it or something, and then at the end of that, I'll get you on the wall.
Cool.
I'll talk to them about getting you on the wall, because the thing about the Tiki Tea is, I know people who've been through that menu several times and they're still not on the wall. But it's about showing support. Yeah. I love that.
What I'm showing him is my screensaver on my phone. It's the wall menu at Tiki Tea.
We love the Tiki Tea, definitely, and we get handouts of the little snippets.
Okay. Yeah.
To do something special.
Okay.
So he gave us a paper.
Very nice.
So, but we are still thinking what we are putting on. We are so many. We are a traveling party of 7.
Yeah. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna have to get this on my.
And we have our Anstandsdame with us.
What is that?
That's a behavior woman.
Okay.
When you're traveling with
behavior woman, chaperone.
When you're traveling with that much boys, maybe it gets out of control.
They get you in trouble. Yeah, you get yourself in trouble.
But if you have your Anstandsdame, your behavior woman with you, you always get mental back on track. And try to behave. And that's what we are doing,
That's funny.
Tomorrow I won't be here anymore, so then what will you do?
Oh, no.
Yep, and next Friday you have the chance to catch us up and bring it back to basic.
Okay, I'm going to do something here, because today is the 2-year anniversary of the podcast. 2 years ago today, we recorded the very first episode.
Congratulations.
Right here. Right here. Thank you. So you guys are on my 2-year anniversary show.
That's so cool.
That's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, we should have brought a cake.
Well, we're eating enough sugar already, right? Didn't we say that?
Liquid cake.
So I want to do something fun here. I want people to see what they're missing right now.
I have to say, we bring a present for you.
Oh, how nice!
This is our handcrafted
Tiki
necklace from Crazy Tiki Art from Germany.
Hold this. We're gonna put a video. I want to show that on the video.
Okay.
All right. So here we go. What's happening, party people? We're coming to you live from the Desert Oasis Room. We're doing another podcast here.
Cheers.
With our friends from Germany.
Aloha.
Today is our 2nd anniversary. Today. We started this podcast 2 years ago on this day, right here. And so we're celebrating with these guys. They're also filming for their project. And so we wanted to include everybody on the video for that.
Thanks for having us, Adrian.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
So I can't read this. Can you read this? Because I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah, Tiki Boss is watching. Someone else.
So let's say hi to everybody that's
watching. Hey Ron, what's up?
Aloha.
Aloha, Ron.
Aloha. And Adrian, we brought you a special present for your 2nd
look at that.
Anniversary. It's a hand-carved tiki necklace from Crazy Tiki Art from Germany. So
cool.
It made a way overseas. to stay with Adrian.
Thank you so much, Stefan.
You're
Thank you.
very welcome.
Thank you. Look at that. That's an anniversary gift. I love that. Straight from Germany. So what are you guys doing right now? What's your Sunday fun day look like? We're making cocktails, and we call this day drinking out here, right? We're not. This is our breakfast. Is this our?
It's liquid breakfast.
This is our breakfast of champions, right? So
and it's delicious.
Oh,
it
awesome!
Came out great.
Thank you. So guys, we just want to say hello and show you what you're missing right now. So, bye bye.
Cheers.
Whatever you're doing.
Bye bye.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Thank you, guys.
You're very welcome.
I wanted to do that, like landscape.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't let me. It told me rotate your phone.
I think people want to, when they're looking at their phone, it might be hard if they're looking at it like this to see a landscape image. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not that high tech, so. Yeah.
So, yeah, because what's weird is, on Facebook, when you do a live video, it always looks better if you do a landscape. But when you're on Instagram and then you do a video on Instagram, it always looks better when it's, what do they call it? Portrait. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
My English isn't very good either. I think yours is better than mine.
Never mind.
After 1.5 blood punches, we'll see what we get.
What I also would like to say about hot rodding and the way we do hot rodding is we do it the most legal way. We use traditional engines. We don't use the OHV engines.
So that's what I was going to ask next. Yeah. So these engines are traditional too.
It's all traditional.
Nothing
how it happens.
Is modern.
We don't have the 400 horsepower super machines that basically are not made to fit in a hot rod. So we only run flathead engines. It's sometimes a little bit of a pain.
Very temperamental.
Yeah, they're very temperamental. They are tricky.
Yeah.
They're like a beautiful woman. It's not so easy to get handy with.
Right.
But once it's running, it's the best you can have.
I love that analogy.
But at the end of this road trip, the movie kind of finishes off with some vintage flathead drag racing up in Santa Margarita, Central California. So about 15 miles from the Madonna Inn.
Yeah.
And so we're gonna there's a ton of people coming up. It's a huge event. So they basically set up these vintage drag races, and it looks like
looking forward to that.
Looks like it's back in the day. It's really cool.
So Shane, when he brought your car, that's Stefan's car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
When he brought your car on Friday, of course, there's only one guy who came out. Oh no, there was two. There were two ladies that were out for an afternoon walk. Everyone that saw that car made a comment about it. Must get a lot of attention.
And we feel also a little bit honored because we get the approval from the RPM Nationals, and they only allow to run 100 cars. And we built this car in Germany with all American parts.
Wow,
yes.
Wow.
And we were able to get the registration for the race. And so we really feel honored that. And I think it says we did it right.
Yeah.
Because these guys, they are super professionals. They are in the scenes since forever.
Yeah.
And
that's the way to do it. Yeah. Wow.
And moreover, what we also do to celebrate the old days is we doing dirt track racing. So the oval track racing, like the NASCAR started in the 50s. Mm-hmm. We do it in Germany, and I have my own race team together with Matze, my very good and close friend.
Have these cars been to Germany already?
The one in your garage came from Germany.
Came from Germany. So it was built in Germany.
Yes.
And then it came here.
Yep. Yes.
Wow.
The yellow one we just towed up today, that one was built back east, and then it's raced in 3 different vintage drag races. So it's got some heritage.
So when we're ready and we go out to the garage, I'm going to show you guys my old car.
Cool.
It's not an old American hot rod. It's an old German car. From the motherland.
You know, it is as it is. The neighbor's grass is always greener. You always want to have something what you don't have at hand.
As a car guy, I can list off at least 24 cars that I want in my garage. My garage is not big enough, right? So I'm sure you're the same way.
Right. Never mind the house. How big is the garage?
How big is the garage?
The old Ed Ross phrase.
Right. Yeah. So I have a friend who lives around the corner here who's in a Cadillac car club, and he has 3 Cadillacs. Oh. And I can't remember what the third one was. One is a 60, one is a 66, and I can't remember what the third one was. It's somewhere in the 50s, like maybe 54. And there was something that came up on social media, and he said, "Oh, look at this house," and it was all garage, and there was one room for the bedroom and a bathroom,
Right.
and that was it. And the rest of the house was all garage.
That is a good guy.
Yeah, he said that's the perfect house, right?
Yeah.
So, how much more do you have with this project? I'm excited to see what's happening.
Let's give some background to Dirk maybe a little bit so he can
Right.
get
Yeah.
some history on. So there was a movie made a while back called Flake and Flames, and the Dirk, our director for this movie, he was one of the
Where's
directors. Dirk, come over, say hi.
Let's have Dirk.
Hey, guys, how you
Dirk.
doing?
Oh, how you doing, Dirk? He's right there in front of me.
Should we switch?
Yeah.
So let's talk about Flake and Flames.
Oh yeah, Flake and Flames. That was an adventure. Actually, the idea came from a meeting with a friend of mine from Denmark, Jesper Bram. We were like, hey, we're going to all the shows together. Let's film something. And then it just went out, the little concept we actually had. And then we ended up in the US with all these custom artists. So we already knew a lot of the people and just asked like, hey, we want to do something. Yeah, I can ask this one, and let's ask Dirty Donny, let's ask Coop, let's ask him, and blah, blah, blah. And then we did a crowdfunding, which was actually quite a new thing in Germany back in 2011.
Okay. Yeah.
And we funded $100,000 for the movie. So
wow.
Yeah, so we could do all the traveling, and we went to Europe as well, to Sweden and Italy and everywhere.
And I've heard about that film. That was very well received, right? That's a very popular hot rodding movie. Or documentary, should I say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a documentary about the lifestyle of the custom culture with all the music, the artists, the cars, and yeah.
And I looked at the webpage, and I saw that you had made a statement that this is not going to be a sequel to that. This is a whole different project.
Yeah, a lot of people were asking like, hey, when are you doing the second part of the film? And we were like, yeah, we did everything in the US and in Europe. So I think because I'm involved and I'm quite known for all the photography and the filming about the hot running and stuff. So people were like, oh, finally they're doing a part 2, and I just wanted to make it clear to the people that it's not like going a sequel to it. It's something different. It's a road movie, and we're visiting cool people and places, and it's like the feeling of friends going somewhere and have an adventure together.
Yeah. That sounds like fun.
Probably yes. Let's see.
Yeah, and it's basically it's a story of friendship, stay together, and really a little bit this whole reunion that the people in that scene, they stay together, they hold together, and it's really a daily exchange.
Let's talk about what happened this morning when you guys had some car trouble. Is that all part of the thing too? Is it about also the tribulations of on a road trip? Sometimes it doesn't go as smoothly as you like.
For me, filming that is a good thing. Actually, for the guys
for not driving,
it's
a no-go.
Because it's not a scripted movie. Like, hey, let's do this and that. We just see what happens. But if you're on the road and then you have your car, like, oh, we have to move over and see what's happening. That's good actually for the people to see. There's something happening. It's just not like everything's sunshine. But for him, it's like, okay, again,
and that's. Yeah, we try to hop it up, to soup it up a little bit for the race. So we had the idea to modify this, we had the idea to modify that, and it's physics, and sometimes physics go a different way than you may think.
At least what happened is you guys were all together, because I've been in situations where my car has died on me. And I'm alone. But when I'm with my club, everyone runs to the car and they all want to try to fix the car, right? And then I'll have 3 or 4 guys that they all know, someone knows, right? If one guy doesn't know, another guy will know, but then they're all using their minds collectively to figure out what's wrong with the car, and you're not stranded.
No, you're never stranded.
But when you're alone, it can be a headache sometimes.
You have a hard time, definitely, but also when you travel in Europe and when you travel alone, and even if you post, I have trouble in one of the social networks, it barely takes more than 2 hours and you get help.
That's good.
Really,
Yeah, that's
sometimes people also, when we are at a reunion and a guy is struggling with the hot rod, then even people drive through the whole night to bring the parts and pieces that the cars can go back.
Wow, that's nice.
Even if they need to bolt parts off their own car and give it to the guy who has a problem.
Wow.
That's a normal thing.
That's nice.
Just to help out people, and that's how we stay together.
Yeah.
I think it's an untold and unwritten law.
Yeah. It's unwritten, exactly.
Right, yeah.
When I was in Hawaii a few years ago, I contacted the guys in my car club out there. I've never met them before, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to be in Oahu on this date and time, blah blah blah," and they all showed up to the hotel in the cars, and one of them jumped out of his car. And he jumped into another car and he said, "Drive my car." I never met him before, but we met on the internet, right? And I said, "Really?" And he said, "Yeah, jump into my car." So I jumped into his car, and then they said, "Follow us." And they drove me all around Diamond Head and Ala Moana, and we went down Kalakaua, like all those really nice touristy areas, really beautiful. And then we stopped at a park, and he said, "How'd you like that?" And I said, "That was great." I said, "Thanks for trusting me with your car." And he said, "Of course." He's like, he said, "You're one of us." And then later on in the week, I tried to meet up with him, and I said, "Hey, what are you guys doing? Where are you?" And he said, "I'm at blah, blah, blah. I had to get a clutch cable because so-and-so's clutch cable broke." So I said, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "You want me to come get you?" And I said, "Sure." So he came and picked me up. And then we met this other guy, at a bar. The other guy he happened to be across the street from a bar, so when his clutch cable was out, he thought, well, I'll go get a drink. He went to the bar, and we went to the bar, and, we were climbing under his car trying to fix this clutch cable. And I thought, yeah, this is community, right? So, and I felt bad because he felt bad that he made this guy wait. He said, he goes, "Poor Ben, he's been waiting so long for me." And I said, well, it's okay, you're helping him. And he goes, "Yeah, but I feel bad." And then I found out he was late because he stopped to pick me up. Wow. And then now I felt bad. But then Ben was like, he's like, "Hey, thank you guys." He was so thankful, that there's community, right, with the car culture.
Right. And and also when you are traveling with a hot rod, it's basically not driving, it's more traveling.
Sure, yeah.
You should really keep your watch in the pocket.
Yeah.
So if you're really under pressure and if you have to catch up, you should not do it.
Yeah.
Because it's a soul thing.
Yeah.
You should really let it run. Then it works a lot better.
Yeah, I understand. Well, I have a commitment this afternoon. Mm-hmm. So I hate to wrap this up so early, but let's talk about this project. Is there anything you guys want to promote while we're here?
Yeah, I think...
Did we already say the name?
Yeah, the name of the movie is Squeezed Up.
Okay.
The website is squeezed-up.com. And then you'll find it pretty easily on all the social media outlets and everything.
Is there fundraising for this one too? Is there crowdfunding?
We got a little bit of sponsorship. We want to thank 805 Beer Company. They sponsored a little bit for this movie and helped us out. So we wanted to give them some thanks. A lot of this is out of pocket, so it's a little bit self-funded. So it's a project of passion.
Passion project.
Yeah, for sure.
I get it. This whole podcast is a passion project.
But yeah, no, we're looking forward to it. We're seeing some great people, and it's really kind of a wish list of all the people you'd want to talk to about Tiki and hot rodding. So
that's awesome. Well, I'm honored that you guys came to the Desert Oasis Room. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for inviting us.
Being on the podcast. And thank you, Stefan, for leaving your car for the weekend. I got to drive it all down by the beach and up in the mountains.
That's my honor.
I'm just kidding. I did it. But I made sure that it was safe and secure. Well, Shane was telling me this is how you turn off the fuel. This is how you turn off the battery.
Exactly.
First gear is here. Reverse is here.
Right.
And I told him, I'm not going to drive it. I mean,
You're good.
it's not my car. I respect that, you know.
It's fine.
And I appreciate you saying that it's
It's
fine.
no
That's
problem.
that I might take you up on that then. I
Okay,
might
no
take
worries.
I might take it around the block
Yeah.
or something, but
That's why he wants to cut the podcast.
Yeah,
We're
right.
going for a ride.
but yeah, I mean, it's when Shane was rolling it off the trailer, every person that looked at it wanted to talk about it.
It's a friendly car.
Yeah.
It invites people and it gives you a very open discussion. And
Yeah.
That's a nice thing.
Awesome.
Maybe we let Andy talk a little bit
Yeah,
about
let's have Andy
tattooing
talk.
and- yeah.
Sure.
Andy.
Andy.
Randy.
Don't wear it out.
Aloha.
Aloha.
How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks a lot.
Good. So what's your involvement with this project?
I happen to be a friend of Stefan and of course of all the other guys. So I've been in the Flag and Flames movie with Dirk as well. We are friends since
Forever.
way too long.
Very nice.
Yeah, I've been friends with Thorsten, the one, the nice guy over there. So
Aloha, Thorsten.
we are friends since over 20 years. And so with Matze, our chief mechanic.
Yeah.
So I was just asked if I would like to come.
Yeah.
So I'm a tattoo artist from Germany, and since, to me it feels like forever, since 25 years.
Now, are you on break right now? Did you bring your tattoo equipment with you?
Something that you shouldn't tell the customs, but yes I did.
Okay. I'm not going to tell customs.
No, I brought my my machines and my needles because we will be next Thursday, I guess it is. We will be in San Diego at Phip Buchanan's place, Avalon Tattoo. One of the few guys that are in the business older than me. So that really takes me by surprise. There are older ones than I am, but he is, and I admire him since ever, and I feel honored that I will be a guest in his shop, and we just make a fun tattoo.
Okay.
Most likely it will be Thorsten again. If there's nobody to get tattooed, Thorsten has to get it.
Thorsten, he just threw up the horns. He said he's in.
Yeah.
What style do you normally tattoo?
I prefer the new school stuff.
Okay.
Because old school is a little bit too boring for me. It's too strict. So I like to bend the lines, make it thicker and thinner, so make it a little bit more dynamic in it and put a little bit more of my style in it. That's why I go for that. And I also like the realistic stuff.
So have you tattooed all these guys in here?
Shane, unfortunately not, because I don't know him that long.
Okay.
I tattooed Dirk.
Yeah, I got a tattoo for Flag and Flame, so we needed some
of
stuff
course.
as well.
You
So I
gotta
got a
have
little
that.
rocket on my leg.
Yeah.
And I think he did some other stuff on me, in the middle of the night somewhere.
Don't remember me on that one. No, Thorsten, I did a lot. So he got the first portrait I ever tattooed.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And
So how did this start? So I've always thought that would be something that I think that I would enjoy doing is tattooing. Yeah. But getting started is the tricky part, right? Were you tattooing fruit in the beginning?
honestly, not.
No. Okay.
No, because that doesn't work. All those pig ears.
Yeah.
There are big rumors about tattooing pig ears and all that stuff.
People will say that you start by practicing on an orange or practicing on...
Yeah, but that doesn't work. It's that material, you know, that will never react like living skin does.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you can do is, if you want to practice, you take your machine and instead of the tube with the needle, you put just a pencil in it and just start drawing. That gives you the way better feeling of the machine, because that fucking thing is really heavy. And most people are already complaining when they have a thick pencil because, oh, that's really heavy. Just try the machine. It's about 500 grams sometimes. You get that better feeling when you draw with it. That is way more helpful than trying it on pig ears or oranges.
Okay. Who was your first... Who was your first guy?
My first victim, I'd like to call him customer. That sounds better. Not patient, customer. That was friends of mine, because since I was a little child, I was drawing, you know, like Mickey Mouse and all that stuff with my pencils. And then I started, when I was teenager, I started to paint T-shirts. Yeah, they're like I'm in that rockabilly scene since '79. So when that rockabilly psychosis came up with fancy vinyl covers, I started to paint them. Then I found that there's an airbrush then I started to learn airbrushing and did that. And afterwards, the guys came like, hey, we got everything airbrushed. Now we would like to have some tattoos. How about tattooing? And I was like, hey, that's a complete different story. So I was totally not in the mood for tattooing and not even thought of being a tattoo artist. Yeah, but they did it so often, and then I said, okay, if you really insist, I'm doing it. And all those guys sitting there, they came and they took it. So
yeah.
Unfortunately, that was the story I was telling in the Flake and Flames as well, but the story never changes. That was the truth. That's how I started. Yeah, and that was just a trial in the beginning. Just wanted to find out if it works. So I did it a year at home. And then I was so busy, I said, okay, I opened a shop, I give it a try for a year. Yeah. And that trial, meanwhile, lasts 25 years.
Oh, wow, 25 years.
Unfortunately, I'm that old, yes.
Maybe I'm older than you. I'm guessing I'm older than you.
What year are you from?
I'm 50. 1968.
I won. 53.
53. Okay. Oh, you look great for 53.
Oh, thanks a lot. I don't feel like.
It's a very polite discussion, isn't it?
That was my.
Okay. I hope I look as good as Andy when I'm 53.
That was my former friend Stefan.
There you go. Former friend.
But thanks for the flowers.
So what I struggled with before I turned 50 was when I started getting the grays. I thought, should I try to color those out?
Hey, the girls like that.
Well,
Richard Gere is calling me constantly and asking me how I do it, No.
Yeah, I told myself I'm gonna stop dyeing my grays when I hit 50. So now,
I made a deal with my hair. If it stays with me, it can choose the color,
Yeah.
So
there you go.
It's cemetery blonde, meanwhile.
Good deal. Is there anybody else we want to have talk on the show while we have the rest of the crew here?
Can I talk about one other project?
Yeah, of course. I was just thinking of some fun time, when we roll the cars out and stuff, getting some photos and all that. Yeah, here.
My wife and I, we've been into this for a while, and we collect stuff just like you do. Find old mugs and napkins and matchbooks and everything else, and you get an education of what was out there in tiki back in the day, and we'd come across these old cocktail umbrellas that were branded from the actual bars and restaurants where the drinks were served, and you just didn't see that anymore. Everyone just had the same umbrella with the same flower pattern, sold by the billions out of China. And, originally they were made in, Taiwan and Hong Kong and Japan and eventually to China. But we just had the idea to bring these things back, to bring branded cocktail umbrellas back to the scene because, this huge resurgence, all these bars are using the same thing.
Yeah.
So we started bringing back vintage style custom logo cocktail umbrellas.
And I've seen them and I think they're awesome. I think they're great.
So we're actually doing pretty well with this. It's got a lot of traction. We did them for Tiki Oasis. We just did some for Tonga Hut's 60th anniversary. For the Grider Co. Cool. Their artwork, and we've done some for some podcasts, and hopefully do some Desert Oasis ones soon.
Yeah, I'm interested in that for sure. Yeah,
and but no, it's been a fun project. We've also just done a couple vintage designs from old bars and restaurants that based on menu art or matchbook art.
Now, are those actually, because when I look at these old umbrellas, my thought is they have to print them all one by one, and then they have to glue them all together one by one. So they're doing that with what you're doing, right?
They're still made in an incredibly low-tech, traditional way.
Yeah.
Every single cocktail umbrella, if you peel it apart, there's actually Chinese newspaper that's torn up and rolled up inside the umbrella. And they're still that way today.
Wow.
So if we tear one of those apart, if you can read it, there's Chinese newsprint inside that umbrella.
Wow.
And so they're still, it's not something that is really advanced to the point where you can make it better, cheaper, and faster outside of the Orient. It's just a traditional thing, and it's kind of cool that it's still made in Asia.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to be able to bring that.
So if anybody wants to see your umbrellas and they want to order them, you have a website?
Yeah, loungeloot.com. So the idea was lounge, like these lounges and bars and stuff like that, and loot, it's the kind of stuff, the souvenirs that you took home from these places. People came home with napkins and wrote their date that they went. They came home with the cocktail umbrellas, the swizzle sticks, maybe a mug. So that's the concept behind this. We'll eventually start rolling out napkins as well and things like that. So
very cool.
Loungeloot.com.
Awesome. So we'll make sure that our listeners find that link. We'll put it in the description.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Put it in the description below. So all of the people that are involved in this project, let's support them out there. I think that this project is something that will be fun to watch, and I'm really looking forward to the outcome to this. So let's see if there's a way that we can help them out too. If there's no like crowdfunding or anything.
No, we finance it by ourselves. So, and everybody is working for free, and we just share the profit if there's any profit, and if there's a loss, there's a loss. But we don't hope for, and we need the support.
Yeah.
We plan to bring out the movie in the first quarter of the next year, so everything will be relatively fast.
Yeah.
Of course, we will do some special editions. There's also a plan to mix it up, maybe with an own mug.
Okay.
For the movie, a movie mug.
A book.
It will be definitely also a book, which is also a very cool present.
Yeah.
And it shows the people in action. It shows amazing places like your place and other places we are going to. It's not so. It's a little bit nichey, but for this niche, it's a wide niche for us because it covers tiki. It covers a little bit the mid-century thing, and it covers hot rodding. And the scene is there, and we are so happy and proud to be a part of the scene and a part of this tribe. And I think we have a good chance to have good success with that movie.
I think so too. And we'll do our part at Inside the Desert Oasis Room to make sure we get the word out there.
Cool.
We'll put it on our social media, we'll put it on our website, and we'll make sure everybody knows about this project.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Adrian.
Thanks again for being on the show, you guys. I appreciate everything. And thanks for celebrating our 2nd year anniversary. Yeah. Cheers.
Adrian, thank you so much.
Thank you. And
thanks for having us.
For all you guys out there that have any questions, comments, or just want to leave a shout out, check out our group page Inside the Desert Oasis Room on Facebook, or follow us on Instagram at Polynesian Pop. Alrighty. Cheers.
Cheers.